We'll continue reading the book, The Power of Now. Can you see the PPT?
Yeah, I can see the screen. I can.
Okay. So if you have followed Power of Now, the recordings, YouTube recordings, you will know they're going through Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, where he, talks about living in the present moment, and we suffer because we, dwell in the past or in the future. Now, today's topic is our mind strategies, why we are not living in the present moment and what happens when you are not living in the present moment. So, that's the chapter we are going to cover today. So, the geometry of presence. So, we have to diagnose the illusion of time. Okay, so he has termed in the last session we had talked about psychological time and local time. So psychological time is the time when we are dwelling in the past or the future. So we have to break that illusion. So why in the core of, again, the delusion is psychological time. So psychological means uh, living in the past or the future, the resentment, the guilt, all these things. And anxiety, that is in the future. So when you live in the present moment, then what happens? The ego cannot survive. So, ego will never allow you to live in the present moment because that is a threaten to its survival, egoic mind. It will always make a point to take you to the past or in the future, right? So, we have to consciously be aware and live in the present moment. That is what the author is saying. Past, the psychological identity, and future, the psychological fulfillment. That is whatever you are working on, whether it will be successful or not, whether you will get this or not, your desire will be fulfilled or not. That is future psychological. And past, your regret, your resentment, all these things. So when we live in the present moment, then it dissolves everything. There is a loss of psychological time. So now, what is the challenges? Because there is always um, ego, keeping our ego educated or keeping our ego under control. That's the challenge. Because the more the resistance, the more will be your deeper pain and all these things. And with certain trigger in the situation, people or event, it will surface your reaction, your anger, your these things. So there is still an identity with the pain, what you have gone through in the past. So we have to become aware. So how do we become aware is through meditation. When we live in the present moment, and to live in the present moment, you need that awareness, and awareness will come through meditation and mindfulness. So when we do that, you will become aware. Oh, I am reacting like this. Maybe what is happening? Is it ego or is it my suppressed anger, suppressed emotion? It is always the emotion which takes us to the past, right? And future is always worry. So there is an unconsciousness, deep unconsciousness, that is fear, anger, aggression. Now we'll see what are the he terms as unconsciousness. That means automatic life, automated habit, automated you are. I mean, you start liking that pain, living in the worry, living in the regret. You start, habitualizing that. So you don't try a new thing. I mean, changing from your old habit, then it becomes discomfort. Then ego starts, uh, you know. mm, appearing on that situation to take you either in the past or the future when you start changing. So feel that discomfort and then pass through that examination. So he's comparing it with the ordinary unconsciousness and deep unconsciousness. So ordinary, it's like a surface level, you have boredom and discontent. So you go for shopping or you for a party, or have some drink or anything, whatever. But then when it is coming to the deep unconsciousness, there is acute pain and suffering, and that becomes identified as a pain body, and you become addicted to those, small relief what you get from whatever escapism from the boredom or uneasiness, that becomes your addiction then when you are in a deep unconsciousness. There will be a habitual resistance, the discipline, or what you want to do, or to certain activity, there will be resistance. That is an ordinary. But when you are in a deep unconsciousness, the ego is threatened, and ego will take you to the past or the future or conflict, and going to the wrong things and all that. Then he gives an example like humming of an air conditioner, unless and until that is stopped, you won't be aware there is an humming. You become habituated to that. But when you are in deep consciousness, there is an alarm, complete bizarre. With the addictions, you end up in addiction center or these things. The coping mechanism, watching TV or shopping, or watching reels. But when it is intense negativity, there will be aggression, physical violence, and depression. I'll skip this. Yeah. So this is an important slide. So ego's mind strategy for avoiding the present moment. So as I said earlier, past dwellers. Ego will take you to past dwelling. So the symptoms is guilt, pride, resentment, regret. The result is that accelerates the body's aging process by accumulating past in the psyche. So the more you think about the past, the more will be your aging process will increase in the psyche. And there is future seeker. The symptom is what? Stress, worry, and mental phantoms. This creates what? Fear of an imaginary situation that cannot be coped with because it does not exist. It's an illusion, right? Future nobody has seen. You have the moment, the present moment. But you worry and take stress. That's a symptom by thinking about the future, imaginary fear. Then there are habitual waiter. That is when there is a traffic jam, or in a long queue. So what you do, you reject what you have got for what you haven't got. You know. So there is always a complaint. You don't express gratitude. Whatever you get, still there is something missing, and you blame the weather. Like the same rain, to some it is joyful. The same rain, to some it is like a disaster. So the way you see that indicates you are a complainer or not. So you are in the identity of a victim mode when you are complaining. And the author says first we have to identify our being, but we are not going inward, we are going outward, right? Whenever you're boredom, this, that, you see you get uplift yourself through external stimulation. But he is saying go into your inner being, which is pure, joyful. So that is what we are making the mistakes. Going outward, that becoming looking at watching our inner self. So how do we watch? Watch your thoughts, watch your emotions, what's happening to you, and then ask yourself, is this moment right for me? Am I in a right situation or not? These kinds of probing questions quite often you should ask. Mind and body, it should be in alignment. Whatever happens in the external situation, your inner state should be stable. War is happening, tragedy is happening, but it's a present moment, and life is like a drama. Whatever is happening is what, according to us, correct. According to an individual, it is correct, and it is the drama we chose when we incarnated on the earth. So when we know that reality, the inner state should be stable, come what may the situation is. And ask yourself, am I at ease at this moment? Keep asking, keep reflecting on a daily basis. So reflection gives you an introspection and going inward. So what if the current situation is intolerable, three options are there: either remove yourself from the situation, or to change the situation, that means taking an action, or accept it totally, surrender. So when you are in a surrender mode, what happens? The fear dissolves. You are completely in the empowerment stage. Some people think that surrender means you have given up and you are passive and weak. It denotes weak. It's not like that. You are rather more powerful. By surrendering, okay, let the divine or the universe take its own course. What you have to take as an action, you have done it. Rest is like a surrender. So by surrendering, what happens? Fear dissolves. By acknowledging fear, then your attention, there is no judgment. You cut the link between the fear and your thinking, and no more resistance will be there, and you will be in the power of now. I mean, in the present moment. So what humans' purpose is that there are two separate dimensions. That's what we outer purpose and the inner purpose. So inner is like there is no time and space dimension, as we know. I mean, all parallel thing is going on, but it's an illusion which is created, the psychological time. So when we live in the present moment, take moment by moment, live moment by moment, then there is no separation. The past cannot survive in your presence, right? Now at this moment we are looking, understanding power of now, book reading. But if the mind goes to the past, oh, what I did back, then it is like you're going downwards with the thought. It only survives in your absence, right? The past. What is the transformative thing? Be in the present moment, deal with the past only as it manifests in the present moment as a reaction. The past comes in the present moment as a reaction, emotion, or desire. So, without criticism or judgment, you just observe, witness what's going on, and then accept it. Then it dissolves automatically. Okay. The light of being shines through the single step happening right now. So we are the light, the light of being, but it will shine only when we live in the present moment. Okay, otherwise it is dark. So this ends the mind strategy and ego playing a role, resistance playing a role, psychological time. Okay. So understanding, moment by moment awareness of our emotions and reactions, and then taking charge, taking responsibility, will take you to the present moment. So, yeah, let me know if you have anything to ask or
No, nice,
think.
interesting perspective and breakdown of the psyche in that sense. I think
Mm,
so. This is from a book, huh? Derived from a
yeah,
book.
yes,
Okay.
yes. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. He's a famous author, yeah,
Yes,
enlightened.
yes, yes. I have
Yeah.
heard about it. I have not read the
Mm,
book yet. It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
nice one. I heard. Power
Yes.
of Now. Think so. But yeah, it's a good perspective and quite a few
Mm,
interesting thoughts expressed in the PPT
yes.
that you made.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, done with your dinner or yet to?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. Finished.
Okay, okay, okay.